Welcome to Maths Bridge. Let's learn Java programming. Folks, please do visit us at our YouTube channel Maths Bridge. I think you are already subscribed to the channel. If you have not, please do subscribe the channel and then support us. Thank you and then happy learning. Here is our today's agenda. Programming language. Java language is widely used programming language in today's world. You might heard that like there are so many applications where we use Java programming. The the question here is like why so powerful, and then what are the typical applications for the Java programming. So Java programming, which we use for actually desktop applications, we use web development, we also use backend development, and if you look at like all the IoT digital solutions where we use like a Java programming widely, that is for sure. So if you look at like your web browser, like Google Chrome, for instance, right, underneath uses like a Java environment, and all the desktop applications use front end UI development, we use like in a Java programming. You look at like an IoT world. IoT is basically, hierarchically, if you look at, there is a sensor network, there is a IoT gateway network, and then cloud network. So all these places, acquisition of sensor data from the field, and then packing in IoT gateway and shipping to the cloud where you do like all the analytics, asset management, things. All these layers, one way or other, you see that like in a Java programming. That is for sure, right? If you can started thinking of like in all the digital world, we use like a Java programming. So Java programming is kind of like a most powerful programming language in a nutshell. So what is the reason, like why everyone actually prefer to actually code things in Java programming? So here are the the few things that I captured. You may have different set of like a list, but let's go one by one. First thing, the way that Java is being built, you know uh, keeping in the interest of like the developer. So it's kind of like easy to learn, so easy to understand, easy to use, easy to write, compile, debug the code using Java. That's one advantage. You might have seen that, otherwise you're gonna see it while you're working on like in a Java code. I mean, using any IDE, for instance, like a Eclipse Java IDE, where you see like it prompts like everything for you, and then you just only pick it up whatever needed, and then you started using them and all. That's short. But there are many, but I'm giving like one shot. Second thing is like a Java programming language is object oriented programming language. Object, right? It uses object oriented paradigm. Unlike they are a structured programming, more weightage they're given to like procedures. In Java programming language, precisely we can say like in object oriented programming paradigm, we given most critical weightage to the data. Data is a critical element in, so data centric development basically. So data is like have to have a secure, because all the associated methods which operates on the data will only have an access directly. You cannot access the data. So we can talk about a more objective oriented, the features like how, what is meant by class, what is meant by object, how the code reusability can be achieved using like in a Java, like in inheritance, polymorphism, and things like that. So the idea is like, yes, Java programming language is actually the objective oriented programming language. We can do all the real-time system development using Java. That's one thing. Next thing is like Java, we know that we are saying that platform independent, achieving through the your JVM means like a Java virtual machine, right? So the simple thumb rule is, right, so write once, run anywhere. That's a kind of like, the statement that you can think of. So platform independent. What are the platform? Platform can be like Windows, the Linux, or the Mac. Once you write the code and compile it, generates a bytecode. That bytecode you can run on any platform. Make use of like in a JVM. JVM is creating a abstraction for the Java code to the hardware, and hence Java programming is well known platform independent code. The other part that you can think through is like in a Java provides a rich standard library. A comprehensive standard library, is what actually Java provides. So what happens with that is like, when you're writing a code as a developer, the amount of the code that you write in Java is much lesser compared to other programming languages. That's another advantage to understand and appreciate how much effort put in to build the libraries, right? Okay, the one more feature that we can talk about, like a memory management, the way that is being handled in Java is more efficient and different. What that means is managing memory effectively by the garbage collector. So if you use like in C, C++, sort of a programming languages, what happens is like dynamically you're gonna allocate the memory, unallocate the memory, deallocate the memory. What I meant to say, right? Those things will happen. There is a prone to a memory leaks, because if you forget to release the memory, then you will end up using all the memory. Certain point of time you ran out of the memory, feel like you don't have a memory, but you are not you are not using it, right? That's short. So how do you avoid that? Yes, Java is well taken care that aspect of implementation by garbage collector process. It takes care of like a managing memory by allocating and deallocating. This basically help reduce the memory leaks. That's an idea. Okay, we also say like a Java programming is like robust and reliable. What that means is like we have a very strong memory management system, and then it handles like all the exceptions, and then we have a effective type checking, not using a pointers. All these subset of features is actually claiming that my Java programming is like a robust and then reliable. So another the feature is like Java supports some multi-threading like a operating system feature. Multi-threading, so we have a built-in support for multi-threading in Java to handle multiple tasks simultaneously. What a beautiful feature, isn't it? With respect to security also, Java supports a variety of security APIs to protect the application that you build. Precisely networking and then web development, that is where I think you require this security layer. So that's an advantage. And then one more thing is like Java does not use explicit pointers. The pointers are basically which we use to actually access the hardware directly, but that provision was not there in Java because we have a JVM as an abstraction. Most of your code is only talk to the JVM underneath taking care to communicating to your hardware platform, right? And the big thing is like we have a large active community support, because plenty of people working actively on Java world. So that's one advantage. You can reach them, and then you can collaborate to work with them for contributing and enhancing Java to the next level, right? And then the big part is like all the enterprise presence in the Java. So because having this all kind of a features, you have that sort of the presence. So these are the the kind of like you know advantages of using Java programming in your applications. All right. Okay, let me give you like a simple snapshot of what are the features that we have seen in C, C++ was not there in Java. Meaning C, C++ features omitted from Java, right? A quick shot is here it is. With respect to C, if you see, Java does not use like a size of operator and then type types. Java does not contains any union and struct. Java does not define storage classes, something like an auto, register, extend, and also like modifiers like assigned, unsigned, except that static we use in Java. Okay, Java does not have a preprocessor directives like a as defined, right? And Java does not use a void as a function formal argument, meaning when you are actually passing a no argument, right? In C++ we use like a void as a parameter, but in Java it's not going to be default. If you don't have any parameter to be sent, then you say like an empty. Okay, we can see like in a couple of examples, then you will understand. Okay, these are all C, right? These features also supports in C++, and hence by default these features are omitted from C, in Java with respect to C++ though. But precisely we can talk about what is mean by what other things that you can see in C++, not in Java. For instance, right, we don't use like header files in Java. Of course, this is applicable to even C also. Java does not support a global variables, right? Make sure Java does not support a global variables, correct? Because global variables means like you are getting access to it, right? In C++, we have seen that is a part of like in a procedural paradigm wherein you have to have like a global variable concept. But in Java or object oriented programming, data is more important and more critical, and hence you know uh, it never be like a global in Java. That's an idea. So then hence Java does not support a global variables. Java does not use pointers like a C++. This is the same statement. I can reiterate. And in C++ we have a templates, and then Java does not have a templates. Java uses like finalizer function in place of a C++ destructor. You see in C++ we have a constructor and destructor, right? So in Java we don't have a destructor, but we have a constructor. Instead, in place of destructor we use a finalizer. That's an idea. Okay, Java does not support operator overloading and multiple inheritance. Likewise, we can list few, but these are the important things that you can remember. So it is most frequently asked question, so you should feel free to actually share this information. And the next important thing is like Java adds many features required for object oriented programming. So one way or other we could say like 100% object oriented programming can be achieved through the Java. Of course there is 99% topic, but 1% still small gap, but but let's not worry too much. But now we can say that like Java is a objective oriented programming language. It has many features that supports you know you know to implement things in objective oriented style. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, click on bell icon, and leave the comments. Happy learning. Thank you. Stay tuned to upcoming sessions.